As we enter this Lenten season, I think we have to be made aware of the cosmic battle between good and evil. We find it here right at the beginning of Mark's Gospel. We have this battle between Jesus and Satan. He's out in the desert, place where the Hebrews believed that the evil spirits dwelt. And the evil spirits, called here the wild beasts, were involved in trying to tempt Jesus and dissuade him from his mission. There is, however, here a real important message, because the next paragraph, it says, he came to Galilee proclaiming the gospel of God. Very important. In the Greek, this evangelium, proclaiming the gospel, is extremely rich because it uses the vocabulary that was used by politicians, the emperors, the kings, when they were proclaiming a victory. That was the good news, and it still is the good news today. And so sometimes people can become despondent and say, there's no hope. It's over. The world is in darkness, and everything is upside down. Well, yes, the world is in darkness. And yes, in many instances, the world is upside down. But for those who hear the gospel, we know that the final victory belongs to God. Now, that does not let us off the hook. That doesn't mean that we can just sit back and say, let the world go to New York, to you-know-where, to Handmaster. We have to proclaim the full gospel of Jesus Christ, and the proclamation of victory is what gives us the courage to do it. And a lot of people today either prefer to sit back or are too afraid to speak the truth. And Jesus says quite plainly many times, if you deny me, you will suffer eternal punishment. Be hot or cold, if you're lukewarm, I will vomit you from my mouth. And so they're all linked. That we must speak the truth. I'm going to speak to you this morning about a very important topic. It is a bill that is going to come before Congress. This week Congress will vote, and then it will be reintroduced to the House. It's called H.R. 5. House Resolution 5, better known as the Equality Act. Now, all of us might say to ourselves, well, we're all for equality. We are. We're all for equality. But you use a term like this that has all kinds of positive implications, and then you start to feel good about yourself. And you feel kind of relaxed. Well, I'm for equality. Except, what is behind the bill? What does it state? Now, the president is supporting this wholeheartedly. But let me tell you what is in the bill, what it means. First of all, if the Equality Act gets passed, it will violate the tenets of religious freedom. It means that those people who have a philosophy of human sexuality different from ours, those people would have a right to be employed in Catholic schools and in Catholic organizations, hospitals. They would also have a right to adoption in Catholic foster care. That's not equality.
That's a violation of religious freedom, a violation of conscience. We would lose control of the message that we are called to preach, the message of the gospel, in the name of equality. That's not equality, that is discrimination against Catholics and against all Christians who believe in biblical principles. The second part of this bill would make abortion not only a legal right, but something mandatory in our country under the guise of equality, women's equality. So they would say then, if you deny a woman an abortion, you are denying her equality. And once again, that puts people of conscience, Catholics, other Christians, in peril. And it also puts in peril, once again, our Catholic hospitals. Because they would be in violation of the Equality Act if they denied abortion. And right now, the present administration has begun to fund, once again, Planned Parenthood and other organizations that promote abortion. The Equality Act is passed, even more money will go to ending the life of the innocent unborn. The last thing that we have to be concerned about is extremely important too. It has to do with privacy. What do we mean by privacy? I'm sure you've heard this before. It means that because of this new gender ideology, LGBTQ, which is gaining hegemony in our society and is being pushed in our schools, that boys would be allowed to use the girls' facilities, bathrooms, and locker rooms. But even more than that boys can play on girls' teams. Now, we talk about feminism. Shouldn't the feminists be more than concerned about this? How many girls are going to be able to compete against a boy in sports? Whether it's track, or basketball, or swimming. That is unjust. It's unjust. In all the games made for women in women's sports, they would be eliminated. Also, if this bill is passed, parents would have practically no rights over their children when it comes to the transgender ideology of those children who are influenced in schools and on the internet who think that they are a boy in a girl's body or a girl in a boy's body, and that they would be entitled to begin hormone therapy and sex change, and I will call it mutilation at a very, very young age. Do you see how dangerous this is? It's an attack. It's an attack on religious freedom. It's an attack on the right to life. It's an attack on our rules for decency and fair play. This bill is probably one of the worst pieces of legislation to come along since Roe v. Wade. It goes so far as to deny biology. And as I said, to withdraw rights from parents. There's something I want you to do. This is not a political speech, this is a moral speech. There's a moral command. Some of us live in the 25th Congressional District. Our congressman is Mario Diaz-Balart.
A year and a half ago, when this bill was first introduced to Congress, he voted for it. And when I questioned him about it, he says, well, Father, I've always been for equality, but there'll be a lot of changes before this bill ever gets enacted. Well, as I said, this is not about equality. This is about the destruction of our concept of biology, our concept of morality, our concept of the rights of parents, and the primacy of the family to direct the lives of their children. So I'm going to urge you to email Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart today, before this gets voted on in Congress, and let him know how concerned we are. And if he wants to maintain our support, that he will vote against this dastardly Equality Act. God bless you.